Hello everyone, you all guys are listening me on Unacademy online platform, and this is one of the current news regarding the Large Hadron Collider. As you people know very well, this research is being started from the decade, guys. But the work behind the experiment to find out the knowledge and understanding about the universe, this huge and huge expenditure-based project, Large Hadron Collider, got so much popular. And recently there was a news in this month, like further the Large Hadron Collider is going to start their own work. So this topic is connecting of science and tech, and this is my lesson number 75. And I hope you people have completed my all the earlier videos. From all the YouTube lessons that I'm taking here on an academy, here are many of the questions you guys got in 2020-22 prelims examinations. Before we start the lesson, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Dr. Ravi P Agrahari. I am a director of Purvanchal at Gorakhpur, where I'm providing the face-to-face classes. From last 18 years, I'm taking classes for civil services examinations. My two books are published. The one is on science and ethics, is on environment on McGraw-Hill platform. This is my Telegram channel where you can find out my entire PDF. My Unacademy profile, you people can follow me for all the entire classes. You can see on the screen, and Ravi UPSC is the code during joining any course. If you use, you will get extra 10% discount. India's best educator for UPSC, CSE, they all are available at one place. So it's a great opportunity to all of you to join us. 20% off and 20% printed booklets. Plus, we are providing you in the GS Note 2.0, it is totally updated. We are providing you the UPSC mains, PYQs, mind maps, a lot of topics that as it is helping to you guys. UPSC courses if you want to buy and financial crunch, 0% EMI facility Unacademy is giving you. So here you will get the loan facility. Why Unacademy is the best one? We are providing you the best educators, flexibility courses, unlimited views, live mentorship. Here 178 plus toppers for 2021. The Academy even made in India, guys. UPSC CSE GS Combat is on 31st July at 11 a.m. and here people can connect with me. Even you join this with the help of Ravi UPSC code. So don't forget to join, guys. Here you will get the opportunity to get a lot of scholarship. So finally, we are here about the Large Hadron Collider reignited. So it's a topic those I brought for all of you, and that is very interesting topic. UPSC also made one of the question earlier regarding the Large Hadron Collider and guard particle in UPSC prelims examinations. Actually, what is the news, guys? Like Large Hadron Colliders, as it is the high energy particle accelerators and all, it is further reignited for the third time on the first week of July in this month, guys. And see, actually, why this Large Hadron Collider experiment are very important. The simple reason, guys, actually we are trying to find out new ideas, new understanding of the universe. Even, in the case of understanding of universe, many theories and models are given. Event horizon, singularities, standard model, many of them. And here in these many of the theories, the standard model is a highly valid theories. So definitely, guys, literally the standard model is right and not. So here in that cases, the Large Hadron Collider even help us. Okay, and in that cases, guys, like what we are doing in the case of Large Hadron Collider, further the third time, those experiment even started in this month, guys. Here we people are using the protons, and the proton we are moving with the speed of lights. And with the help of this guide, we are trying to open a new vista and knowledge about the understanding of standard model, as it is highly valid to describe the concept of universe. This is a picture of Large Hadron Collider. Inside you can see it's deeply inserted inside the ground. And here in this Large Hadron Collider, the massive even colliders, and here the accelerators, how they are generating the massive, fundamental particles and all everything that I'll discuss here in this lesson, guys. Actually, no, it was offline for the 4 years for the maintenance and upgrades. Yeah, actually, after second time of work of the Large Hadron Colliders. So after second type of work in the Large Hadron Collider, further the research has been started. Okay, because the need of Large Hadron Collider must have to be maintained, maintenance and upgrades, as you can see here, guys. The another one, this is a very gigantic insights. And here those accelerator we are trying to maintain here the energy of this accelerator here we are trying to maintain around 13.6 trillion electron volts. And now you guys can ask me like why have a 13.6 trillion electron volts energy we are trying to generate it. The reason is, guys, with more and more energy, if you are trying to find out the knowledge about the subatomic particle and fundamental particle, so we will get a more and more better result in this case. That's why the 13.6 trillion electron volts is the energy level that we are trying to maintain here in the case of proton accelerator. So in that cases, guys, a gigantic accelerator. Accelerator means where we people do the accelerations. Actually, I hope you guys know very well E is equal to mc square. E is equal to mc square. So E means energy or potential, M is equal to mass, and c is equal to speed of light. If a single proton is very small in size, if we are moving with the speed of light, so the energy or potential will be very, very high. And that is the reason those proton we are taking here and we are moving with the speed of lights. So it means the massive accelerators are there. And because of it, what is there here in this case, the energy level or potential level can go up to 13.6 trillion electron volts. And this huge level of potential of energy, when the proton is maintained and we are going to do the collision of protons, in that cases we are trying to find out the knowledge about it. So finally, one thing what we are doing in the case of accelerator, Large Hadron Collider. Okay, here we are doing the fusion of this. How this tera electron volts, trillion electron volts, and the experiment to perform, I'll explain with you in the next PPTs. Wait, guys. But one thing I will tell you guys, what kind of upgradation we have done in the case of Large Hadron Collider. That third time those research has been ignited. In this case of upgradation, guys, the spike their energy range. So definitely people have increased the energy range. As earlier the energy range in the case of accelerator we have used, here the energy rate even increased. And this is the reason, guys, because of energy level that increased, they increase the level of compactness. As a proton to proton fusion we are doing. Proton is a type of hadron actually. Okay, so proton is an example of hadron. The hadron is a kind of fundamental particles. In the hadron group, proton and neutrons are coming. Proton and neutrons are coming. So this is the reason in the case of Hadron Collider, always I'm speaking proton. So proton is a type of hadron as a fundamental particles. So whenever the proton even increase, speed accelerator will increase, guys. So ultimately that two protons, if they are going to fuse, two hadrons, they are going to fuse. So their compactness level will be definitely very high. And in this case, they made the beams denser with the particles. So more denser condition here we will also maintain here. And here in that cases, guys, this will increase the probability of a collision. Okay, this will increase the probability of collision. And when the massive collision have an accelerator, in these cases, guys, okay, whenever we are doing the particle interactions and all, okay, in these cases, so with more energy potential, they will generate a more better result of the fundamental particles. Now the question is, what is a Large Hadron Collider? I just going to discuss with you from the beginning. And what is the purpose of the Large Hadron Collider? Actually, in European countries, one of the research got very, very popular, that is called as a CERN experiment. CERN experiment, it's a French name, is a Council Européen pour la Recherche Nucléaire. But in English term, it is called as a European Organization for Nuclear Research. This European Organization for the Nuclear Research is what? It is the mega research, guys. A lot of the money is going to spend there. This is the mega research. In this research, we are trying to find out about the existence of God particle. In this experiment, we are trying to find out about the existence of God particle. God particle are those which are also called as a Higgs boson particle. Why this is called the Higgs boson particle? Because two scientist contributions are behind the God particles. The one is a Peter Higgs and second is a Professor Satyendra Bose. And due to presence of God particle, it is being find out like each and every where have a presence of mass. Either it is a small size of proton or it is a big level of celestial bodies. A big level of celestial bodies. Celestial bodies, I hope Earth, Mars, Jupiter, moons, they are the celestial bodies, very huge size of bodies. So everywhere, either is a small size of proton, it's a big size of celestial bodies. Everywhere have a mass. So the reason is God particle. As per earlier, the Higgs bosons even described about the God particle, and that's why everywhere have a mass. So definitely through the help of a Large Hadron Collider, finally in the CERN experiment, we will have developed the Large Hadron Collider. So Large Hadron Collider is developed under the CERN experiment. And here in this Large Hadron Collider, generally we are trying to find out about the existence of God particle. That's why everywhere have a mass, either a small size of proton or big size of celestial bodies. And those Large Hadron Collider experiment we will perform. Those Large Hadron Collider where we perform the experiment. The experiment is a CERN experiment, guys. In this case, it is the world's largest and more powerful particle accelerator. Particle accelerator means inside this, we are doing the acceleration of particles. So the particle, as I told you, is equal to mc square. I spoken you guys. What I told you guys, m is equal to mass of particle, c is equal to the speed of lights, and e is equal to energy or potential. So this is the e is equal to mc square. So any of the mass of particle like proton, anything, when we move with the speed of light, so ultimately their potential is very high. And how the potential will be very high? Because of particle accelerator. Now come here, guys, in the case of Large Hadron Collider. This Large Hadron Collider is actually, it is positioned, okay, in a tunnel, deeply in the ground, guys. And the depth deeply in the ground is around 175 meter. Now the question is why this is the Large Hadron Collider in the depth of around 175 meter. The reason is, guys, if any kind of electromagnetic waves, either it is generating because of sunlight, it is because of any stars or moons, they can create the disturbances to detect about the presence of or existence of a guard particle and other fundamental particle. That is the reason it is this Large Hadron Collider is deeply in the ground has a depth of 175 meter. And this area is actually in the circumference of 27 kilometer. So in the circumference of 27 kilometer, depth of 175 meter, this Large Hadron Colliders we have to make. And see, the location of Large Hadron Collider is a Swiss-France border near Geneva in Switzerland. See, one thing more, guys, in the case of Large Hadron Collider, actually to increase the speed of protons, to accelerate the speed of protons, here superconducting magnets are used. The superconducting magnet, those are used that they accelerate the particles. And this is the reason, guys, the proton or hadron particle will reach with the speed of light. And wherever the speed of lights, when the proton particle move, so ultimately E value, your potential value very, very high, as I've spoken you 2 times, guys, in this entire experiment. And let's see, it then took around 10 years to build, guys. Okay, 10 years to build. And the cost of around 4.75 billion US dollar, guys. That is very costly, guys. And here I'm telling you, it is a kind of mega research. Definitely, you guys will ask me what is the meaning of mega research. Mega research means those type of experiment where have a huge investment required, huge number of scientists, and that is there is around 80 plus 90 around countries. They even participated in the Large Hadron Collider experiment. Some member countries, they are the countries fund the program, guys. They have their own countries. 70% of annual budget given by Germany, United Kingdom, Italy, France, and Spain. This is right, guys. The main country, the funding body of the SIR is the European countries. Even a part of this, India, US, Russia, they're also the contributors of the experiment. A part of this, other various universities and other organizations, they're also working in the case of funding of Large Hadron Collider. This is the final about the Large Hadron Collider, those I want to explain with you. There are different types of accelerator you can see here, guys. Okay, different types of accelerator here, guys. And this is the final accelerator. This is the final accelerator that is called Large Hadron Collider. So this is the overall about the Large Hadron Collider you can see here, guys. Inside the Large Hadron Collider, I'm telling you, just try to understand. It is a Large Hadron Collider. It is totally entire 27 kilometer length. 27 kilometer length. This is the whole entire. And these CMS, LIs, 8 plus, LSCB. What are these? The CMS, LIs, 8 plus, LSCB. These all are the different what? Observatories, guys. Okay, they're different observatories. And through the help of CMS, LIs, 8 plus, and LSCB, they have a very powerful cameras. What is going on here in this case? Whenever we are putting the proton or hadron inside it, and we increasing their own speed by the speed of light, so they have a massive energy inside, and then we are doing the collision of the proton and hadron particles in the opposite directions. Whatever the CMS, what about the LIs, what about the ATLAS, what about the LSCB, they are taking the picture and images through the help of very powerful camera. Here in this experiment, we are trying to find out a very simple statement, guys. Try to understand. Suppose this is a proton. Actually, inside the proton, they are made up by 2 up quarks and 1 down quarks. Suppose this is the 1 up quark, 1 up quark. This is 1 more up quark, and this is about the down quark. So proton is made up by 2 up quark and 1 down. In between have some guard particles. In between have some guard particle. And due to presence of guard particle, this proton have a mass, guys. Literally, this proton have a mass due to presence of guard particle. Whenever I do put this proton inside the accelerator and move with the speed of what? Speed of light. I'm just asking you one question, guys. 2 objects are there, and when they were doing the collisions with a small speed, so they will break into small pieces. When the speed of 2 objects are very huge and then they are doing the collision, so they will break into small pieces. And when the proton we are taking and moving with the speed of light, so now very small size of particle, but they are moving with the speed of light, so very huge amount of energies are there. When very huge amount of energy, when they will fuse to each other, then very small particles are generated, and that people have done in this experiment. And when very small particle, we will try to get it. In that case, the possibility if the guard particles are very small, so they can also come. And literally, guys, it is proved. So that particle came in this cases, and that's why it is proved there guard particle exists. And because of the guard particle, either any of them is a small size of proton, yeah, big size of what? Celestial bodies everywhere have a mass due to presence of guard particle. It was proved in this experiment. Total, how many detectors are there? Here you people can see like 4 detectors, LSCB, CMS, LIS, ATLAS, but total 8 detectors are there. Total 8 detectors are there that you can see on the screen, guys, even have been constructed. and they all are the actually underground. They all are the undergrounds. Okay, what are the total 8 detectors? 8 plus CMS, that is called compact muon noise, ELIS, LSTV, totem, moftel, LSCF, and phaser. So these all are the total 8 detectors have been constructed to get the knowledge of all these. And now we'll come into the discussion of the detectors actually. Atlas and CMS. They are those detectors inside the Large Hadron Collider. They will try to find out what the large purpose of particle detectors they will work. So they will work as to get the knowledge about the the more and more informations, more and more minute structure, because they are very large general purpose particle detectors. Okay, the LIs and LSCV have more specialized roles. Okay, totem, moftel, LSC, phaser, they're much smaller and are very specialized. Actually, guys, what is here? I'm just trying to simplify the things. Those many other detectors people can see here, they have different size. And inside the detectors have a different capacities. And on the basis of this, from small level to big level, medium size of level, every fundamental particle they will check. Even those Higgs boson particle was discovered, it was discovered in this Atlas and CMS. So in this Atlas and CMS detectors, the Higgs boson already proved, guys. And finally, due to presence of Higgs bosons, standard model even proved. Standard model proved. I told you guys, standard model is in the favor of what? Fundamental particles, Higgs boson particles, and standard model is high level, and that is the reason every mass have a elementary particle. It is because of guard particle or Higgs boson particle. And finally, in the Atlas and CMS experiment, we find out guard particle exists. So finally, the standard model also got the support with the help of Large Hadron Collider experiment. Standard model is, it is the model that for the understanding of universe, as I told you, many of the theories and models are given for the understanding of universe. But the highly valid model is a standard model. What is standard model is saying like all the entire universe are made up by fundamental particles, and these all the fundamental particles those are there, guys. Okay, they are connecting in this universe through the help of various forces. They describe three of the four known fundamental forces like electromagnetic force, weak force, strong interaction. They omitting a gravity in the universe. So how in the universe have a responsibility of gravity? So reason is electromagnetic force, weak and strong interaction force. But I'll tell you one thing, guys. Those entire universe you can see right now, this entire universe exists because of four natural forces. You must be know, guys. And that is the reason all entire world, universe, everything exists. Electromagnetic force, gravitational force, strong force, and weak force. The standard model is saying, guys, four known fundamental forces, or three of them, is responsible for the generation of gravities and all in the universe. The first time those Large Hadron Collider run there between 2009 to 2013. In this case of 2009 to 2013, it was already proved like all the matters they have a mass. All the matters have a mass. So Higgs boson is a fundamental particle, and due to presence of the fundamental particle, all the matter have a mass. It was already proved in during 2009 to 2013. Second run of Large Hadron Collider, it was 2015 to 2018. In this case, LSD performed beyond the expectation. The reason the energy level was 13 TeV. Reason more and more speed, more and more energy is equal to mc square. Here people, what it did, proton to proton collision we have done. Proton to proton collision we have done, and that's why here we are getting the more better result in this case to prove the guard particles. And third round experiment just started from 2020-22, and it will go up to 2026. In this case, guys, we will try to find out Higgs bosons, strength of the Higgs boson. We will check through the help of interaction between the matter and forces. The Brahman, the universe is made up by even matter and many of the force particles. Matters, those exist, and forces, those are responsible to join the matters. So universe is made up by matter and various forces. Now in the case of third round, actually the purpose of Large Hadron experiment, further those are the reason that recently it is again started in the July month. The reason here we are trying to find out more and more knowledge of the universe, like Higgs boson decay to the dark matter particles. Dark matters and dark energies are those when you see the sky in the night, guys. In between the stars and stars, many of the areas are darks. Okay, and here have some force of attractions are there. That's why the celestial body in the space have some arrangement that is called dark matter. But still 90% plus dark matter, dark energies are not known. So through the help of further research, guys, Higgs boson decay to dark matter particles here, as well as search for the additional Higgs bosons, we will try to check it. Further to scrutinize the standard model. So definitely, guys, those standard model even given and highly valid. Through the help of third tenures, we will again check like literally standard model is right or not. There is a more and more faster speed, more and more better clarity, more and more existence of God particle. In this experiment, we will get it. Okay, and the forces of the gravity comes from dark matter is made up of. Why there is so much matter than the antimatter? Many of the questions still not available. So here through the help of third time of 10 years of the experiment of Large Hadron Collider, we will try to find out this answer. Actually, 4 main detectors have also been upgraded. What are the 4 main detectors of Large Hadron Collider? Recently have news those are going to detect. And our detectors are upgraded, the Atlas and CMS. Atlas and CMS are upgraded more. Whatever the data they have connected earlier, now it's a double the data they can identify. LSCB detector upgraded to collect a 10 times more data. The next one is LIS detector, 50-fold increase to those are recorded compared to prior runs. Actually, whatever the detectors are there now, I told you guys they have high powerful cameras. So they help of very, very high powerful cameras within an instant second, not even a complete 1 second, instant of the second, guys. Fraction of second, they can take million, billion, trillion of photographs. The whenever the capacity enhanced, so not only trillion to trillion photography they will take. The reason whenever the God particle, any particles are coming inside a large hadron collider, okay, when they were generated, so they were just generating very minute period of time. So definitely this type of detector this time will give you more and more the results. And now one thing more, guys, some new detectors during the accelerator recent shutdown well installed. The one is a phaser and second is a SND. Phaser is a scan for the extremely light and weakly interaction particle. As SND will be used to detect about the neutrinos. Neutrinos, one time I'll make a videos for all of you. Neutrinos are very confusing among the scientists community. Okay, neutrinos as such is called like they have a no charges, but they have a tiny masses. Okay, they are very less mass. And in the earlier guys, neutrinos are those fundamental particles as defined. They are massless and chargeless fundamental particle. But through the help of neutrino oscillation experiment and all, it is proved no, neutrinos have tiny masses. And how the neutrinos even ghost particles, which can travel through the most of the matter without interaction with them. This all the studies through the help of SND, accelerator, and not detectors, we will check it. Once it has been upgraded and begins running again in 2029, the luminosity of Large Hadron Collider is expected to capture 10 times more data than the previous 3 runs combined. Because the 4 times again the Large Hadron Collider will run by 2029. As this time is the third time it is running. So it was the overall the entire mechanism of Large Hadron Collider. Many of the detectors name you got it here, guys. So regarding all this PDF, I'll suggest to all of you kindly go on the Telegram and take this PDF. My Unacademy profile is unacademy.com/Ravi P Agrahari 2010. Here you can find out my all the entire classes, live lessons and special classes those I'm taking on Unacademy. My code is Ravi UPSC. During joining any course, if you use it, you will get extra 10% discount. Legend Wisdom series road to LVSNA starting from the July 20th onwards. Here you will get a lot of information, a lot of the support from our expert panels, guys, the tutors, the teachers, they are available for all of you. These all the discussions will help you in the case of your personality development, your answer writing, and somehow it will also help you in the case of interview guidance program. My courses of science and tech are running now on the plus. Kindly enroll now with the help of Ravi UPSC code. If you people want to contact me, you can directly call on the regarding courses any doubt 7825-860259. And at last, I'll tell you guys, thank you so much to listen to me and given me this attention. Kindly subscribe the channel, like and share this video. Download this PDF, guys, and meet you soon in the next class with some new other topic. Take care of yourself, guys. God bless you. Jai Hind.